Fade out 1. Fade in 3.
Pizza Flicks Television Division presents
Until this Sunday of May 1926, Cesar Lautaro and Antonio Siciliano lived the good life of honest Italian working men. Too honest. They were leaders in a bitter fight to prevent the takeover of their union by the hoodlum mob run by Louis Kaplan and Albert Acropolis. In the year 1926, Alberto Acropolis and Louis Kaplan were the big wheels commanding the mobs which were muscling into control of honest labor unions. Between them, they ruled the East New York and Brownsville troop of hoods and assassins. 2 of these 3 men were their chief enforcers. This one, Happy Mione, was a cold-blooded killer in spite of his pint size. And to this one, Victor Sacco Gorido, killing was more than a business. It was a profitable pleasure. Julie Castellano here was nothing more than a small-time punk. Loved to play the part of a big-shot gangster with the ladies of the neighborhood. A few hours after the murders of Lautaro and Siciliano, we had Mrs. Felucci downtown, looking over the mug book. Mrs. Felucci was the landlady of the building in which Lautaro and Siciliano had lived. She was being a little difficult to handle.
I'm sorry to put you to this trouble, Mrs. Felucci, but after all, murder was committed in your own home. Now, don't you want to try and help us get the men who did it?
I told you already. I don't want nothing to do with this. I don't know nobody.
Are you afraid of something, Mrs. Felucci?
What I got to be afraid about?
If you help us identify these killers, we'll protect you.
Sure. Like you protect them 2 poor fellow who die on my best rug. Now I go home.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Miss Felucci.
I no dirty theft. I no do nothing.
You haven't been telling us the truth, Mrs. Felucci. Now, you were sitting on your front step when that car drove up, so you must have seen the men who were in it.
You make this trouble for me.
I'm responsible for your safety, Miss Felucci. I'm going to have to hold you as a material witness for your own protection.
Madonna mia, I don't want your protection. I take care of myself.
I wish I could make you understand. I'm trying to do you a favor.
Some favor. Lock me up. I spit on your favor.
Take them out of the old country, but you can't take the old country out of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you notice the big double take when she spotted the picture of Castellano here?
Couldn't miss it. She knew who he was, all right.
Sure. Let's go pick up the chic of East New York.
What do we got in this country? Cossacks? That a guy can be dragged in off the streets for nothing?
The hit on Lautaro and Siciliano. You were the wheelman.
I never hit nobody. I never heard of them guys.
No, you haven't got guts enough to pull a trigger. Sacco Gorida and Happy Meone, they did the blasting.
I never heard of them either.
Did you ever see a man fry, Julie? The skin on his arms and legs, starts to sizzle. The smoke starts coming out of his ears. Then you can kind of smell him cooking.
You guys are scaring the pants off me.
Oh, come on, kid. Use your head. Think it over. You got a chance to save your own neck. I'll do my best to get the DA to understand. I can't promise anything.
Big deal. What do I need with it?
Julie, suppose we tell you we got a witness that saw you behind the wheel of that car.
Hey, you guys think I'm some sort of a schnook? If you got a witness like that, which you ain't, you wouldn't be trying to lean on me. I got nothing to worry about.
Nothing but your pals, Sacco and Happy. And Louis C. and Mr. A.
You got something on me, you book me. Otherwise, I'm walking out of here.
I don't know. You sure you want to hit the street, Julie?
Think it over, kid. When Sacco and Happy find out that we had you in for questions, they're going to start wondering what kind of answers you gave us.
I keep on telling you I never heard of these guys.
You know, I couldn't blame Sacco very much for getting nervous, especially if you were in on the kill with him.
You're so right, Max. I know if I was in Sacco's shoes, I'd be getting a little nervous myself, knowing there was a witness running around town loose who could tie me in with a double murder.
The both of you should live long enough until I'm a witness against anybody.
Okay? Have it your way, Julie. Go ahead. Hit the street, sucker.
Hi, boss. I told you long ago not to come here unless it's an emergency.
Something like this I couldn't trust to the phone. It's about that contract on the Taro and Siciliano.
Yeah, I read it in the papers. Too bad.
Boss, we got a tip.
Yeah, what are you trying to tell me? Something went sour?
Oh, nothing I can't take care of.
All right, then what's bugging you?
We got a tip that Ruditsky picked up the old hag that runs the flea bag where them two bums lived. He's holding it downtown for a witness.
A witness? To what?
She was kind of sitting out on the front step when we drive up.
You stupid jerk.
Mr. A, it ain't the old lady that's bugging us. It's Julie Castellano.
Spill it.
Ruditsky snatched Julie off the street and had him downtown, too.
Had him?
He put him back on the street.
When he got Julie to clout a car for the job, did he know what it was for?
Oh, crazy? Something like that I wouldn't even tell my own mother.
Did he know where he was going? Who you were gonna hit?
No, he didn't know nothing.
Well, then if the punk don't know where he's going with the car, what's gonna happen when he gets there? He's no accomplice. That means he can testify in court. He can burn the both of you.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, you were right.
I kind of figured Julie had to go, but I didn't want to dump her until I got the okay from you and Louis C.
Witnesses are poison to everybody.
You sure loused up this contract good.
Oh, you got nothing to worry about, Mr. A. And this hit is on me.
I no want, no look, no picture. I will go home.
And I want you to go home. Believe me, Mrs. Felucci. But I don't want what happened to this fellow to happen to you. Now, please, take a good look at the picture. Isn't this the man you saw driving the car?
I saw no fellow no drive the car. For 2 days I have no sleep because you give me them pile of rag instead of a bed.
Miss Felucci, this man was killed because somebody was afraid he might talk. Now, the same thing can happen to you.
Plenty happened to me. She kept me in that room stinking with a bug killer. Maybe you think I got bugs. You think I come from the house that I must be fumigated.
No, Miss Felucci, I think you're a very nice lady. But if you only told me this was the man you saw driving the car, you could have been home by now. You have nothing to be afraid of. I give you my word.
Your word. I keep my word shut in my mouth so I wouldn't have to be afraid.
Okay, Miss Felucci.
I can go home now.
No, I'm afraid not.
You cop. And that's what you call a free country, huh?
No, not if you think you can feel free to get yourself killed. The slugs taken out of Julie Castellano were fired from one of the guns that killed Notaro and Siciliano. Knowing who did those killings was one thing. Proving it before a judge and jury was something else. Then I had a brainstorm. Maybe it was because I remembered the words of King Solomon in the Bible. The wicked flee when no man pursueth. The first thing we did was to snatch Happy Mione off the street, secretly, and bury him in a cell way out in Queens. For the brainstorm to work out, I had to have him out of circulation where his pal Sacco, nor anybody else connected with the mobs, could find him. Yeah, I got it, Barney. You understand, Abbo? I want you to be sure that Sacco knows you're following him. But no matter what happens, don't give him a tumble.
What if he makes a pass at me?
Well, you duck it.
You really think GORIDA will fall for it?
Well, put yourself in his place. How many potential witnesses has he exterminated for Louis C. and Mr. A? Yeah, I'm hoping that Sacco will start thinking about what a great, big, fat witness they know he could be.
That'll be the day.
You put me in an awful spot.
I don't want to twist your arm, Gimp, but if you want to take this attitude, makes me think you no longer care to cooperate with the police, so... No deal.
No. Please. Give me a break, will you?
Are you forgetting all the breaks I've already given you, Gimp?
Yeah. Oh, my guts are just jumping up and down, and my hands are wet and cold as ice.
Yeah. Gimp.
Yeah.
All you have to do is play it the way I laid it out for you, and you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Go over it again, slow, so as to be sure I know just what you want me to tell him. Because I booted, and I'm dead.
All right. Now listen carefully. This is the last time.
Well, she'll happily show up. You tell him to get in touch with me right away, you hear? Yeah. Who is it?
Me, Sacco. Louis the Gimp.
Well, what do you want?
I picked up something I think you ought to know. Important.
And what is it you think I ought to know?
Well, maybe I shouldn't ought to tell you on account of you and Happy.
What about Happy? You seen him?
You mean you ain't either?
Oh, I seen him around, nowhere.
Oh, And maybe them two parties had the right dope. Maybe I'm doing you a big favor warning you. Maybe it ought to be worth a sawbuck.
Talk, you creeper. I'll bust your sawbuck in the teeth.
Okay. I'm circulating around in the Black Cat last night, and I see them two characters standing at the bar there, talking real confidential like.
What two characters?
Well, I don't make them, but they talks like they was from out of town, and they sure know the score. You ain't gonna lean on me if it ain't true, are you?
You can let you bounce you off the wall a couple of times to loosen up your yap? What was they saying about Happy and me?
Well, that Mr. A and Louis C is sore, because you and Happy loused up that contract they gave you for a hit on a couple of union stiffs, and they don't like it, see, because it turns the heat on them.
You cheap,
I'm giving it to
liar.
you straight. They's talking like Happy is already dumped. A bag job in the river.
Without me knowing it?
Without nobody knowing it. And, yeah, and one of these guys, a big lug with a face like a bruiser and little eyes that bores right into you. He was talking like Mr. A and Louis C. brung him all the way in from Detroit to take Happy.
It's a lie, you hear me? Mr. A and Louis C. and me's just like this.
Well, all I know is what I hear, Sacco. Oh, yeah. Wasn't Julie Castellano in on that hit with you and Happy? Huh? And wasn't he dumped? And him and you was just like this together? Was it you? Huh? And then...
This is crazy.
Maybe you ought to evaporate yourself, huh, Sacco? In case this Detroit torpedo is setting you up to go with Happy.
Get out of here. Hello, Marty. Happy been around yet? I ain't seen him, huh? Well, listen, Marty. Anybody been around asking for me? A big pig-faced guy talks like he might be from out of town? Nobody, huh? Well, listen, Marty, should this mug show up, you call me right away, you hear? Thanks, Marty.
Hey, you! Hey, you! Hey! Hey, mister!
Hello?
Operator! Operator!
It'll soon be about ripe.
Well, there's
ripe as he'll ever get.
Maybe. But take it easy. Comes out of that blast thing, don't try and be a hero.
Sacco, open up. I got something for you. Come on, pal, let me in. What's the matter, pal? You sore at me?
Come out?
Yeah, get in. We'll let him run for a while before we put on the crusher. It was a strange feeling pretending to be on the wrong side of the law. And it would almost be worth a cop's hard-earned month's pay to see Sacco's face when he found out we'd been shooting blanks at him. How could we mess with a chopper at that distance? Right now.
Father! Father! Father, where are you? Father!
What is it?
Father, he's right behind me. Don't let him get me. Father, you can't come in here and get me, can he, Father? You can't come in here and get me, can he?
No, my son.
Father, call the cops. Ask for Sergeant Ruditsky. Tell him to come here and get me. Tell him I want to go downtown for a witness.
And the slugs taken from Castellano's body were fired from Gorida's gun.
What do you want from me now, huh?
Oh, Mrs. Felucci. I'm sure you'll be happy to know it's quite all right for you to go home now.
Happy. Maybe I must laugh, huh? You throw me in jail for nearly a week. You treated me like a convict. Oh, goodbye.
Victor Gorido made such a good witness that for a while the state's bill for electric current up at Sing Sing hit an all-time high. And the first to burn was his best friend, Happy Mione. The judge gave Sacco a break. He drew 60 to life.